Hey, yo, what's going on? I'm Josh Martinez inside of our Dunkin Music Lounge with our guest, Julia Cole.
Oh my gosh. It is such an honor to be here in New York City. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm going to kick this off with the title track from my brand new EP that just came out called Life After You. I'm still pouring whiskey straight, but it's one glass instead of two these days. I'm making some changes, and I still roll my windows down, country music cranked up loud, but drive to different places. Some things are getting easier to do, but I almost take your exit every time I pass it, and I still wake up reaching out for you. It's so hard to forget when you had a taste of heaven. Our forever ended way too soon, but I'm doing my best getting used to life after you. Still go to church right down the street, but I don't save an extra seat. I'm asking God some questions, like how long does a heartbreak last? Will I ever get on past being stuck on what we could have been? I almost take your exit every time I pass it, and I still wake up reaching out for you. So hard to forget when you had a taste of heaven. Our forever ended way too soon, but I'm doing my best getting used to life after you. Yeah, oh no. Some things are getting easier to do, like knowing I won't find another you. But I almost take your exit every time I pass it, and I still wake up reaching out for you. Oh, it's so hard to forget when you've had a taste of heaven. All forever ended way too soon. I'm doing my best getting used to, yeah, I'm doing my best getting used to life after you. Life after you. Life after you. Thank y'all so much. Wow, I can't believe this project is finally out. I've gone through a lot in the last year or so. Had a called off engagement this past summer, and the day after it happened, my mom flew into Nashville, Tennessee, where I live now, to come take care of me. And like I said earlier, we're from Houston, but both my parents from Louisiana. So growing up, if we were running late to anything, my mom would always be like, we're always trying to fit Texas and Louisiana, and you just can't do it sometimes. And when she flew up to Nashville to take care of me, I was like, I have tried everything to make this work. And she said, sometimes, honey, you just can't fit Texas and Louisiana. This is track 3 off the new EP. He's watching my taillight shine from his front porch one last time. I'm watching the mileage on this Wrangler dashboard climb. Might head to my mama's, sleep with my sisters, or just keep crossing them county lines. I can let the tears roll down, I just can't turn back around. Can't put raindrops back in a cloud. Gas station, pit stop in Beaumont, another memory hit of a promise he promised to keep, but he never did. Some second chances drag out the damage when it's something you can't forgive. I ain't one for quitting. Swear if I could, I would fix him, but can't put raindrops back in a cloud. Can't put lies back in your mouth. Can't turn highways back to dirt lanes, and you can't unkiss somebody that sun can't spin round the moon. Ain't no one outrunning the truth. Can't turn a boy into a man, can ya? Can't fit Texas, Texas and Louisiana. You can't fit Texas and Louisiana. Oh, you can give it your heart, give it months, give it years, give it prayers and therapy, blood, sweat and tears. But a knife in your back can't be unturned. A bridge can't be unburned. Can't put raindrops back in a cloud. Can't put lies back in your mouth. Can't turn highways back to dirt lanes, and you can't unkiss somebody that sun can't spin round the moon. Ain't no one outrunning the truth. Can't turn a boy into a man, can ya? Can't be Texas, Texas and Louisiana. Texas and Louisiana. I promise I have so many love songs and upbeat songs, you can find them, but this EP was a step into, I guess, a part of me I'd never had to really dive that deep into before. And I wrote these songs with co-writers who were basically my therapists in the room, and just kind of put all these things down on paper that were too scary to say in real life. And this song is a letter to my ex's mom, and it's all the things I wish I could say that I know I never can, and I know she'll probably never know unless she hears the song, so I hope she doesn't. But this one is called Your Boy. You can ask your son about the way it all went down, or you can ask the other girl he kissed. You probably won't be surprised, 'cause he got it from his daddy's side, but you're a good mom, so you'll still take his. But your boy, he's got a lot of manning up to do. I know you tried to raise him right, so I ain't blaming you. You didn't teach him how to cheat or lie or break a heart in two. I know you think he's all grown up, but if you only knew your boy is gonna bring you home his new brunette. You should ask him when they met. He'll have a story ready and rehearsed. Yeah, your son's got a way with words. He'll make them sweet, then make them hurt. He'll probably do the same damn thing to her. Your boy, he's got a lot of manning up to do. I know you tried to raise him right, so I ain't blaming you. You didn't teach teach him how to cheat or lie or break a heart in two. I know you think he's all grown up, but if you only knew your boy, he had a chance, he made a choice. I'll never let another man treat me like your boy. Your boy, he's got a life of man enough to do. I know you tried to raise him right, so I ain't blaming you. You didn't teach him how to cheat or lie or break a heart in two. I know you think he's all grown up, but if you only knew your boy. Thank y'all so much. I'm Julia Cole.
Hey, yo, what up? One more time. Let's show some love to Julia Cole.
The iHeart Squad in here.
So the final song that you performed was called "Your Boy." I have so many questions on just that one song.
Okay,
First off, you said you were engaged. So how long ago did that relationship end?
August.
Okay, so it's like still relatively fresh.
Relatively fresh.
So
hot
you-
off the press.
So you write that song when? Your Boy.
I think it was like October.
Okay.
So
Is it with the concept of that song, writing kind of a letter to his mother? Is that something that comes to you in the middle of the night, or is it something that you were like, this is the idea I want to go, and then you bounce off that?
I kind of went in with the idea to the co-write, and when we were there in the room, it's actually funny. I wrote that song with two guys, but they could relate. Kind of how when you were walking over earlier, you said you kind of relate on the other end of the spectrum. These guys were throwing in ideas too, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's really helpful to have both mindsets when you're writing these lyrics.
Well, I think it's also helpful if you have songwriters that are also very honest with themselves, right? Because it's one thing to try to project, or another thing to try to like write what I think you're thinking. But if I'm just stepping in there like, yo, these are all the bad things I did to my ex, it's going to help the songwriting process a lot more, no?
It definitely helps have the other input, but also it's having someone to bounce off all the emotions you're feeling. It really is like therapy when you're songwriting. And it's funny because I've kind of said it over and over. Everyone's like, this has got to make you feel so much better to have this EP done, all this therapy. And I was like, no, writing it was therapy. Putting it out and performing it is torture. But everybody that has been messaging me, like millions of people have seen the videos, and I've gotten thousands of these messages from people just telling me how, one, it helped them through their own called off engagement, breakup, whatever it was, divorce. But I had a lot of people, I didn't realize I needed it, kind of tell me that they have found their perfect person now and they're so happy it happened and that I'm going to be fine. So it's really cool. The Cole team community's kind of had my back on this one.
So when it comes to the breakup and then you write the songs, is songwriting easier, or did you find it more challenging dealing with something so personal?
It's definitely easier.
Oh, really?
When you're dealing with something so personal, the writing of it, it's just you're pulling from direct experience, and you're like, this is what I can't stop from playing in my mind constantly. So you can put that down pretty easily. But recording it and putting it out, making a music video, oh my God,
that was going to be my next question.
The worst. Like,
how much difference is it when you're writing a love song, right? And I don't know how long you guys were together. How long were you guys together for?
4 years of dating, but we knew each other for like 20 years.
All right. So you write a love song on year 2, and then you perform that love song. How different is that compared to performing a song like Your Boy, when it's the complete opposite of love?
I think you just feel naked. You don't really necessarily. I'm a very private person, and I grew up in Texas. My dad was a never let him see you sweat kind of a family, and that was not ever something I wanted to really write about. But I think I was so exhausted and defeated by the end of the relationship that I was just like, I'm tired of being tough. I'm just going to write the songs that are real.
Now, when you say something like, you're tired or you're kind of beaten down, how does that impact you creatively? Do you feel like you're more creatively stifled when your personal life is kind of slowing down, if you will?
Well, one of the songs on the EP I literally wrote the day after everything went down, and I was in with my producer and another songwriter, and the two of them were like, "We don't have to write today," because I obviously told them what happened. They're like, "We can just talk. We can just hang out." And so we did. We just started talking, and then the second track on the EP is called "This Ring." I mean, the lyrics just fell out. It wasn't on purpose at all. Like we'd kind of decided not to, put ourselves through that. And because I said we can write about something else. Like I don't want to ruin y'all's write you had on your calendar. And they were like, no, let's just talk. And the vocal on the record is the one from that day. So it's
Was the date
real.
was the date of the breakup August 26th? You don't remember?
I do. Well, okay. So it was a multiple day
Got it.
breakup.
Mine wasn't. Mine was just one night, August 26th. That's why I was asking
It was
you.
very close to that, though. It started the night of the ACM Honors Award show.
Fantastic time to do it. Let me tell you, it has nothing to do with just completely killing the buzz of the fun that you were probably having.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna go back to your boy one last time because it hit me while I was behind the camera. I was like, this fucking song.
I'm sorry.
No, it's a good problem. I promise. You mentioned before the song that his mom will probably never hear it. Do you think you'll ever come to that point where you tell her about the song? And if you do, what do you say?
I don't think I will. I mean, I think that people's families, like that's supposed to be your safe space. So I'm not going to go in there and cause trouble there.
You know, it's interesting because my therapist told me after my breakup that involved a ring as well. Because one of my biggest worries was that I was going to be looked at as the bad guy because I did the breaking up. And my therapist was like, yo, if 8 people look at you as the bad guy, who cares?
Mm-hmm.
There's dozens and hundreds of people that probably look at you as a bad guy that you don't know about. So another 8,
true.
Another 8 isn't, and the thing is, it's not like I don't think I'm a bad person, but you have a bad interaction with someone, and they might tell 10 people
First
about.
First impression lasts forever, right?
So with that being said, were you worried when putting out these songs, knowing like everybody knows the backstory of the breakup and there's a lot of heartbreak on the EP? Were you kind of like worried that people would come up to you and be like, yo, I didn't know you fucking went through that?
It has been happening constantly. It's ever since, the breakup happened in the summer, end of summer.
Not August 26th.
Well, no, it was actually could have literally been August 26th. Can you look up when the ACM Honors Show was? What day is that? Okay.
August 23rd.
Close, though.
That is
like,
creepily close.
It's really close, though. But I waited 6 months, almost. I waited until so in November, I sat down with my phone and I recorded this video journal just of everything I was feeling. I had already written a bunch of the songs and I was like, I'm just going to record how I'm feeling right now because it was one night. I'd been drinking a little bit of wine.
Goddamn right.
And I just went through kind of everything I was feeling by myself. And I sat with the videos for 2 months, kind of just didn't watch them or anything. And then January rolled around and I was like, okay, no one has seen on social media or anything about the breakup. And People magazine posted the engagement. So I was like, I have to say something. Everywhere I'm going, people are still asking or congratulating me, that haven't seen me in a while. They're like, oh, congrats on the engagement. I'm like, you see what had happened was
it gets awkward.
Yeah, super awkward. And then they
yeah.
feel bad and you're like, okay, I need to say something to save everyone from what's going on here. So in January, I went through that video and I just picked a couple of the small clips from it that helped just tell my side of the story, but I really didn't say anything about him. I didn't say what he did. I didn't say how it happened or when it happened. All I said was how I was feeling, basically, and that some songs were going to come out and I didn't want people to be blindsided by them, and then started putting the music out. So that's been the timeline of it. And now I think people are getting the picture of what happened, but not from those videos. It's from the lyrics of the songs. And I'm trying to change up some of the little things in the song so it's not like, I mean, it's hard to not make it as direct as it is when you wrote the songs in the middle of
You
the
are
breakup,
better.
but-
You're better than me because I'm petty as hell. I would just be like, "This is what they did on a Sunday. My name starts with J." I'm a terrible songwriter, but I would try to rhyme some dumb shit to make it work.
I'm a little petty on the second EP. It's a full length album that is being produced right now, and there are some songs on the second EP where we get a little spicy.
So you officially released the EP technically yesterday, as we're recording this.
It's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Today.
Well, midnight. Yes, but yes, today.
You're right.
But midnight, people look at it as Thursday night. Point is, it's officially out. What song are you most excited to perform off this particular EP, and why?
Your Boy is definitely the song that people are connecting to the most. So when I play that one live, I can feel the energy from everyone's emotional just connection to it. But I really love singing Life After You. And that song also, it doesn't just apply to a breakup. I feel like the lyrics are also, if you've ever lost someone who's passed away and just living in the world without them, I think of like my grandpa and my old producer, Laurie White. You know, they both passed away from cancer. And I'm like, I had to figure out how to live in Nashville without Laurie. And I've had to figure out how to do all the things that we do with our family without Poppy there. And, you know, I always have Poppy with me. This is all fabric from his old Western wear shirts.
Really?
Here. Yeah. Poppy was like very stylish.
That's dope.
He had that Southwestern swag.
Is he from Louisiana as well?
Yeah,
or?
yeah.
Okay.
All my family's from Louisiana. My parents just moved to Houston, so we're starting the Texas branch.
So you live in Nashville right now. How different is Nashville's music scene compared to quite literally every other music scene in
Everywhere
America?
in the world.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I will pick Nashville 10 times out of 10 because of the songwriters. That city is the mecca for songwriting. No matter who you are, no matter what genre it is, like people care so much about not just the production, but the lyrics, the melody, what the story is. And I couldn't have learned how to write a song in a better place. The mentors there, just the culture around songwriting, it makes Nashville stand out.
Every artist has a different way of kind of breaking through that writer's block. Do you have like a particular go-to technique to break through?
I don't really get writer's block. And I think it's because I'm so busy doing other things that I'm like just trying to find time to write all the ideas that I have. Like, because I'm touring and I'm, you know, producing records. We're doing all sorts of stuff on the side versus this people who write every single day, 2 a days. Like, they're going to have mornings where they're like, gosh, I'm out of ideas and I did not have time to do the little brain tweezer, like what are those brain teaser tests where you can like make up little ideas. I know a lot of songwriters who'll have to do things like that to get over the writer's block, but I have just a list of ideas I haven't even gotten to write yet.
Now, are you a physical writer or are you more of a notes on the phone girl?
I'm trying to get more into the physical writing, but I have the handwriting of like a second grade boy. So
Same.
I'm typing it. I'm in my Google Docs doing my thing.
Plus, if you're writing something at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday after your 6th glass of wine and you try to read it back Friday afternoon in your writing session, you're sitting there like, I don't know what this means or says. I can't even make this out.
And I'm constantly editing my songs up until the moment that like we finish the vocal. Like even mid cutting the vocal, I'm changing the words and like I'm always getting it tweaked. So I'm like, if it's just on paper, it's going to look terrible by the end of it. I'm going to have everything scratched out.
So you've mentioned touring a couple times. You've toured with a lot of big names, Dan and Shay being one of the people that you've toured with. What was that experience like when you tour with folks like Dan and Shay and the other folks that you have toured with?
It's such a fun experience because I feel like specifically in country music, everyone is such a family and such a community.
They get it. They get it. And it is so frustrating because I'm not exaggerating. There are people in the room that will understand what I'm saying. Like country music gets it. Country artists get it. Not pop, not rock, definitely not hip hop, not K-pop. They don't understand. Like one text message goes such a long way. One interaction that's 30 additional seconds goes so much further, and everyone in country gets it. Like, not to go back to Dan and Shay, but like Dan texted me when I used to run the radio station. When I added their song, he like texted me. I was like, "Hey, this is Dan Smyers." I'm like, "Who the fuck is Dan Smyers?" I had to Google it, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is
so
really
cool.
cool." And he
Yeah.
does that to everyone, and everyone I come across is like, "Yo, Dan and Shay is mad cool," and they go to that like aspect of things.
It's true.
So
Like Shay
country-
was out when I was opening for them. He would come out and watch my sound checks, and we would go to the bars afterwards. And it's so funny. He'd be like, "Okay, how do you keep your voice amazing after we do touring like this?" And he's like, "Just drink a ton of water." Like little tips like that I feel like in other genres people would want to gatekeep, but in country music, I feel like everyone I've toured with has been like, "Here's how I survived when it was the hard days of touring, before the glamour of having everyone cater to your schedule, even though it's still hard at that point."
So for your personal tours and such, what gets you most excited aside from the obvious performing?
It's definitely meeting the fans, like meeting anyone on the Cool team. If someone has learned the words to my songs, I don't care how long the line is of people that I need to meet. If I didn't play their favorite song in the set, we will sit there and sing it together in the meet and greet line, because I'm like, I want you to have heard the song you came here to hear. And
That is wild, by the way.
it's my favorite. Well, and I have a lot of songs out. Like I did this release something every 2 weeks before, and it's fun because I feel like every song is, I love songwriting, and if you don't ever release the song, it's never going to serve the purpose that it had to reach whoever it was meant to reach. So I'm trying to get more of the songs out there. There are only 52 weeks in a year, and we write 1,000 songs, and it's like, how are we gonna, even our favorites, we can't get them all out. So I was just releasing a bunch for a while, a couple of years ago. So there's some songs that are maybe like deeper cuts that if someone just loves that song and they were so excited to come and hear me sing that one, I'm like, yeah, we'll spend 30 seconds and go through the chorus of it together, like right here in the line.
What can we expect from you in 2024 and beyond?
The rest of this album is going to come out, and every single song is in order of even before the breakup happened, like kind of seeing the red flags, the should I stay or should I go, deciding to leave. Every step in the whole album is just pretty much 6 months after I live it, the song comes out, and it's just.
So is that something that you by yourself decide on, or is it a team that kind of goes through the lyrics and kind of molds it out to fit a particular chronological order?
My producer, Josh Ronan, and I will sit down and listen through a bunch of the songs I've written and decide like what is cohesive and what goes together. But I will say this album's not like anything I've ever done before. I've put them all out in a way that I was thinking, I can't release this later. If this doesn't come out right now while I'm living it, I'm never going to sing this out, Everything that has to do with something as specific as breaking off an engagement, that's not the same as just a breakup song. So there are a lot of things on this album that I don't think, God willing, I will be able to put on another album.
So 2 more questions before I go. Number 1, did you keep the ring?
Oh, I wish I had sang Diamondback for you. There is a song about that, and you'll have to wait until you hear the song. To know the answer.
She kept it. No, not mine, not you, mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
4.3 carats. Yeah.
You should send her the song after it comes out. It'll be on the second EP. It's called Diamondback, and we will send it specifically to you.
To me, it's just like, it's fine. Like, it's cool. I gave it to you for a reason. Like, I'm fine with it. Make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? Or keep it forever. And I don't know what you could do with it, but it wasn't cheap. Anyway, my final question, as I'm slowly being triggered by this
breakup. You're still
breakup.
hurting right now. I can feel it. It's okay.
My wallet is actually.
Yeah, I feel that.
We are in the Dunkin Music Lounge.
Yes.
If you had a chance to sit in a Dunkin with any one artist, dead or alive, for 60 minutes, who are you hanging out with?
That is so hard.
They don't give these jobs to chimps. You hear me?
Oh my gosh. Okay. Dolly Parton.
Good answer. I love Dolly.
I just think she has to just know everything.
And I feel like that interaction would be so laid back and loose that you wouldn't feel like you're like prim and proper trying to
Right.
interview. It would feel like a hangout. That's the vibe that she gives. Like just
And she's so good at so many different things. Like, what do you have? Songwriting advice? Do you have running a multi-million dollar like entertainment? I mean, Dollywood advice. I mean, she does so many different things across the spectrum. Aside from touring, TV, clothing lines. Like,
have
what
you been to
doesn't she do?
Dollywood?
I have. I've played there. I played a show
Really?
there. Yeah, it was a very fun little moonshine festival, actually.
She couldn't just say moonshine. She had to add the little accent into it. I like it.
Did I?
Yeah, you definitely did. I went to Gatlinburg twice. I've been to Gatlinburg twice. It is a very interesting place.
It is a very interesting place.
Although I love it. I enjoyed my time there. Being
You
in the
can't
Smoky
not
Mountains.
have fun there.
And there's a lot of moonshine and tours too, which were a lot of fun. I
Just
enjoyed it.
enough.
Well, I had my fun. One more time, Julia Cole, we appreciate you stopping by, girl. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.